Well, today we've woke up to a story coming in through from Turkey from a very credible journalist telling us that Arsenal have officially entered the race to sign Victor Osimhen. Smash the like button, comment and share if you're totally watching us for the very first time. Endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Heung-min is also in the news as he obviously looks to end his career at Tottenham Hotspur. Then we also have another story coming in through from Barcelona on how they've gone ahead to obviously solve the problem that has always gone ahead to obviously befall them when it comes to obviously signing in players. The financial fair play rule has obviously gone ahead to obviously cause problems to the side of Barcelona, and looks like they've gone ahead to obviously find a solution for it. So continue to subscribe. I think we're left with 3 subscribers to hit 25,000 subscribers, and that is really very important for you to note. Remember, this show is powered by Saint Maria Goret SS Katende. If you know, you know. Saint Maria Goret SS Katende. And registration is on for S1s, S2s, S3s, and S5s. You can as well call them on +256 702 478 536. +256 702 564109. As you see, those numbers well demarcated onto that well-designed artwork that you're really seeing in there. So that is exactly what you're really talking about. You can as well go and follow up onto their website into the description box below. The link is there in the description box below about what these people are really good at and good at really doing in the mix in here onto the Rokani Media Football. We're also powered by Mono Gadgets, dealers in affordable smartwatches. If I told you need an affordable smartwatch, call them onto +256 70 9988 That is Mono Gadgets for you. You will obviously get yourself an affordable smart watch. Now, Arsenal have entered a race of Victor Osimhen, and looks like they've gone ahead to admit that they made a very big mistake for not really signing in players in the January transfer window, and that has gone ahead to obviously write them off from the trophy. And it will need a miracle for Arsenal to obviously find themselves into that first position of the league of 2024-2025. It will need a miracle for real. So all what they have to do is simple. They have to put in a very big shift at the side of Arsenal to see to it that all goes on well as planned. So Arsenal are really in for striker, and the name now is Victor Osimhen. And I told you that very many strikers, the shortlist is obviously going to be made, and we know that Gyökeres is seated at, not Gyökeres, Benjamin Šeško is seated at the top of that table or list. Then we also have a player known as Alexandra Isak. Victor Osimhen is there. Oli Watkins on the list, and also Victor Gyökeres is also onto that list. Now, we are having Subcongu, one of the credible journalists coming in from Sports Digitali from Turkey, has told us that Arsenal have now officially entered the race to sign Victor Osimhen this summer. The Gunners are said to be a step ahead of Manchester United in the race to sign the Nigerian striker. Now, Arsenal have officially entered the race to sign Victor Osimhen. Let me bring you up to speed for those that really never really got to know what happened last summer. Last summer, lots of things went ahead to happen at the Emirates, because we are told that the agent of Victor Osimhen was at the Emirates. You remember? Not last summer but one. That is the summer of 2023. Because he was left with just 1 year on his contract, Arsenal were pushing to obviously sign the Nigerian international. And guess what happened? It never really went as planned, because the player went ahead to be convinced by the side of Napoli, renewed his contract and put out a buyout clause of 120 million euros. And unfortunately, the previous season of 2023-2024, Victor Osimhen performed very badly. He was known the Victor Osimhen that he was in the season of 2022-2023. Remember, he banged in very many goals. You know, that season, if I might really recite onto the number of goals he scored in the season of 2022-2023, you'll obviously agree with me that it was his best scoring season. In the Serie A, remember they even went ahead to win the league. He played 32 games. He scored 26 goals and 4 assists. Those are 30 goal involvements. And UEFA Champions League, he played 6 games and he scored 5 goals. You know, now his tally was to 31 goals that season. And he had 31 goals in 38 matches. That is the Champions League and the Serie A. That was really insane. Now the following season never went on well, to see to it that teams would obviously put in a lot of money to sign the player. And that is the season of 2023-2024, where he scored only 15 goals, 11 less than he scored in that season of 2022-2023. In the Champions League, he scored only 2 goals, and teams were like, he's not worth that amount of money. He's not worth that amount of money. That's why teams were like, we are not obviously going to sign him. And he had to obviously put in what we call a mutiny, and the manager was like, I'm not obviously going to be having him here at the club, and they loaned him to Galatasaray. And when you see a journalist, tier 1 journalist coming in through from the side called Turkey, putting out a story in the news that they've gone ahead to obviously see Arsenal taking the lead, you'll get to know that it's obviously coming in through from a credible source. Not so? So that's exactly what Arsenal is really up to. And it's said that they are ahead of Manchester United in the race, you know, to sign the player. Man United have gone ahead to speak to Victor Osimhen, and they want to sign him. And Victor Osimhen has given them their okay. But remember, Manchester United is not, right now, if you are to go by how the table is looking, they are not going to be playing into the Champions League. You understand? They are not going to be playing in the Champions League. That is it. So, unless otherwise Man United wins the UEFA Europa League, that's how the dice will change. But as it stands, obviously, Arsenal stands a high chance to sign Victor Osimhen. One, they're into the Champions League again. They're really performing very well. They'll have money to sign the player. And this player is available for £65 million. So, I think when someone tells you that Arsenal are a step ahead of signing Victor Osimhen over Manchester United, I think we can all really come up and really agree on it that it's really the right thing to do. You understand? Because Victor Osimhen wants to be playing the Champions League. That is it. He wants to be playing the Champions League next season, unless otherwise United wins the UEFA Europa League. And I think that's how United can obviously win this race. Because if they win the UEFA Europa League and they are really into the Champions League, then Osimhen will be like, I'm going to be playing the Champions League and I'll have a chance to obviously get United and take them to where they deserve to be. That is exactly what Victor Osimhen will be thinking in his head. And when you look at the price of Benjamin Sesko and the price of when you look at the price of Benjamin Sesko and the price of Victor Osimhen is more or less the same. All go for £65 million. You know, that is like 75 million euros. And of the two, who would you obviously trust? I think you'll trust Victor Osimhen more because of his experience and him being a proven striker. You understand? Though, if it's talent, you look at Benjamin Sesko and you look at him and really understand that he's really talented and really good and ready to go. So, I don't know what your thoughts are about this story of Arsenal entering the Victor Osimhen race into the mix. And more strikers are really going to be linked to the club of Arsenal. And it's confirmed. This summer transfer window, Arsenal will have to bring in a striker. Victor Osimhen is on loan at Galatasaray, and 20 games played so far in the season, in the Super League, that is the league of Galatasaray. 16 goals scored and 4 assists. He's really on fire. And in the UEFA Europa League, 7 games, 6 goals and 1 assist. Meaning that in 28 games, he has 22 goals and 5 assists. That is Victor Osimhen for you. I think that is really good for a player in the caliber of Victor Osimhen. I just love it. And I think whichever team grabs the striker will have gone ahead to obviously do that. Well, Manchester United have gone ahead to tell Napoli that, can we do a swap? We get you Rasmus Højlund and we add you more 40 million euros and you get us a player called Victor Osimhen. You know? But I don't think they'll obviously opt for that when Arsenal is willing to obviously pay them amount of money that is that is worth 65 million pounds. And even the likes of PSG will obviously do the needful. So I really anticipate that very many clubs obviously going to be coming in for Victor Osimhen because he's back at firing in goals, and 65 million pounds for a strike of his caliber and reputation, I know it will be an absolute steal. That is it. So, Tottenham Hotspur, it's coming in from Tom Arnold. He is a football journalist for The Times. He has told us that Tottenham Hotspur want Captain Son Heung-min to retire at the club, but they have not yet been able to persuade him to extend his contract, which will have 1 year left in July. Now, Son Heung-min has been one of the huge servants of Tottenham Hotspur. I tell you, his contributions and loyalty to the club has been really huge. With his performances, no club in the world wouldn't obviously want to have a player like Son Heung-min, but he has not gone ahead to do what Hurricane did. Hurricane found himself in a position of really pushing a move from Tottenham Hotspur and went to the side called Bayern Munich. You all know that very well. So, after pushing for that move to obviously happen, Son Heung-min was like, for me, I'm obviously going to be staying here. And his numbers are not really bad. He's one of the best wide forwards that I've gone ahead to obviously see in this world. He has gone ahead to play 327 games for Spurs since 2015, and he has scored 126 goals. It shows you that he's really a very huge player at Tottenham Hotspur. When you look at his age, he has now clocked 32 years of age, and this year he's going to be clocking 33 years of age. He's that player that you will obviously want to watch. He's a joy to watch and can keep you on the edge of your seats every time you're watching the game of football. This season hasn't been as planned, but he has gone ahead to put in assists, 9 assists so far in 24 games and 6 goals. Last season, 35 games, 17 goals and 10 assists, 27 goal involvements. That is what this guy really gets you into all these competitions. That is Son Heung-min. And that's why very many teams are like, Son Heung-min, we are interested in you. And he has to make a decision. I know the Saudi Pro League will be the first people to obviously raise up their hand to come up and obviously say, please, Mr. Son Heung-min, we want to obviously give you some huge amount of money. And if at all I'm Spurs, I would obviously get the money because this side can obviously offer Son Heung-min some good amount of money and Spurs some good amount of money. I know around 60-70 million euros will obviously be put on the table to sign him for the Saudi Pro League. And I don't want them to fall a victim of Man City and Kevin De Bruyne. City fell a victim of not selling Kevin De Bruyne to the Saudi Pro League in the previous summer. The Saudi Pro League, Al Ahly, had gone ahead to obviously raise 100 million euros to let this guy go. And City were like, we are not letting this guy go, we are keeping him in here. You understand? So, after keeping him in here, look at what has gone ahead to happen to him. He's depreciating and they're like, let's let him go on a free. So, they missed out on that amount of money. So, if I'm Tottenham Hotspur, I would sell Son Heung-min at that side. Though, at 32, he looks like he still has some 2 good seasons in him and he's still performing at that high level. But I think it's better for them to sell the player and use that amount of money to bring in more and more and more players that are really going to help Ange Postecoglou shape up his team. I don't know what your thoughts are about it, but for me, genuinely, that's what is really crossing my mind when it comes to the side of Song Heung-min. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But at this juncture, we all have to understand that Song Heung-min is wanted by Tottenham Hotspur, and they want him to retire at the club because he has ticked all the boxes of becoming a club legend. Now, Barcelona has always gone ahead, obviously face a problem of what we call the financial fair play. And they even sold levers to obviously rescue the club from the problems they've always gone ahead to be in. And looks like this time round, they've gone ahead to perform very well. And even, hear me out, and even the president of the La Liga, is it Javier Tabias, has come out and obviously given them their flowers for the very good work they've gone ahead to do. He has applauded them because they've went ahead obviously do a very, very beautiful job. And in player sales, they've gone ahead to raise some good amount of money. And this story has been brought to us by a journalist known as Tony John Marty, who works for Other Sports. He says, Barcelona has generated 89 million euros from sales, including 25 million euros from Victor Roque's transfer to Palmeiras, 22 million euros for Nico Gonzalez, sale to Man City, and smaller sums from the departures of Faye for 10 million euros, Julian Aloho for 10 million euros, Abdi for 7.5 million euros, Mark Guiu for 6 million euros, Unai Hernandez for 4.5 million euros, and Estanis Pedra for 3 million euros. And the beauty of all this is that most of these players we are reading are really coming from the academy. Estenias, Unai Hernandez, Mark Guiu, Abdi, Tokov Faye, Nico Gonzalez, meaning that they're really having in a pure profit of close to 60 million euros, and they might be in good position to spend some huge amount of money come the summer. And I've gone ahead to see them wanting Alexandra Isak in there and very many other more players, and it's said they are needing 2 players, you understand? So we are waiting to see how things pan out, and if all goes on well as planned, the side of Barcelona will really find themselves out of that prison of the financial fair play that they've always gone ahead to be in. So I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about Arsenal entering the Victor Osimhen race and the head of Manchester United. And we all know to it that Champions League is the big thing. And for Manchester United, they're really having problems because they're having very many players that are really earning a lot of money. And these players have come out and really said there is no way they're obviously going to be coming up and really putting in a shift that is really well required to obviously pay them. And Victor Osimhen wants a lot of money, He will be willing to put pen to paper to a contract of like £250,000 minimum a week. So I think Arsenal can offer that, and can United offer that compared to what they're really going in through? That's where my huge doubt really comes in through. So what are your thoughts about it? Do you think Arsenal will win this race? And out of the 3 strikers that Arsenal is linked to, Alexandra Isak, Benjamin Sesko, and Victor Osimhen, who would you want Arsenal to sign? And I think I'm obviously going to be doing a video onto those 3 strikers and on who Arsenal should obviously bring on to see to it that he really gets on all up and running. That is the side of Arsenal for you. Then, what do you make about a story of Song Heung-min? Would you think he will retire at Spurs? Or if at all you are Spurs, you would have gone ahead, obviously, make money from him, sell him to the Saudi Pro League for 70 million euros minimum, and use it to obviously rebuild your squad. And lastly, what are your thoughts about Barcelona? Do you think they are really out of the financial fair play prison? You understand? for the sales they've gone ahead to make, yet 90% of those players are really homegrown players, which is a pure profit. Rokani David remains my name. I'm out for now. See you later. Bye-bye. Third match it is.